Welcome in or welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a kind of quick reading. At least that's my intention, but we'll see what happens. And I'm just going to give a little update, and then I'm probably going to take a break for a couple days. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is alright, yesterday's reading, during it, there was several instances of disturbance with a lot of car doors slamming, a lot of banging sounds, and then there was a point where I felt energy go in through my left foot, as if like energy was being returned to me. And then I finished the reading. I went to class because I had class. So on my way to class, I'm noticing, like, I didn't notice it until I was like driving already for like 5 minutes. And there was a seed planter that I had not given, but so I had, made seedlings or whatever, planted seeds and produced seedlings last spring, and some of them were like a watermelon, a melon, some stuff that was like I didn't have room for because I only have like a very limited space to garden in where I'm at currently. And so the person Alex, who I've mentioned a few times, not the DE2T one, the other one, the bald head one, who we don't like. We don't care for them. They were not kind to us, nor my children. So we don't care for them. So anyway, I had offered them, when they were being nice to me, I had offered them, because they have, a house with a big garden and stuff. So I had said, do you want to take these seedlings, and as long as you take care of them? And they said, yeah, sure. They ended up killing all of them. They're like, oh, an animal ate it or whatever, and like, I'm just like, okay. Knowing them, they just left them to die and didn't even plant them. Like, it's just ridiculous. But it just showed me what kind of person they were even more. So, it was extremely, if you know the wallpaper background I have on my computer, it's artwork by Banksy. It says, from this moment, despair ends and tactics begin. And it's a little girl planting. She's gardening, and then there's a symbol of like time, like an hourglass on like the little planter thing. So like for me, with my whole healing process from so much trauma, from undergoing so much trauma, gardening for me was a huge sign of me healing. I had wanted to, for years, I had those seeds, I wanted to plant them, and I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to. My life was in shambles. I was in shambles. And so me, doing that was a very momentous occasion that no one cared to share with me at all, or recognize at all. And, and then for this person to do that was extremely disturbing for me. And then I had given them these seedlings in my seed tray that was part of a set. And I'm very poor. I'm very low income. Okay? So even though that seedling tray set was, I think, maybe like $20 or something like that, to me that's a lot of money. And also all of the meaning and value behind the whole thing, it meant a lot to me, and I had asked them, like, can you please, once you plant them, give me back the seedling tray. They never did. And this was like quite some time ago, okay? I mean, so yeah, so this was last spring. And so anyway, so they ended up, I guess, while I was doing the reading, dropping the seedling tray off. They put it in my, like, windshield thing. And I just found that so interesting because during the reading, the word of the day was forgiveness. And then I just know a lot of the stuff I was talking about, like, it was just very, like, relevant now, putting this into context, how it all came kind of full circle, where somebody who I was unfortunately deeply connected to, who hurt me very badly, was somehow making amends in a way. And that's one of the main things I was bringing up about forgiveness, was making amends. And due to the anger behind everything, I mean, it's not like they left a note or anything like that. The seedling tray was dirty. It was in disarray. You know, where they had placed it was careless, like, you know. But, you know, there is the fact that they did bring it back, but it almost felt like somebody, like, made them. So that was kind of funny to me, because I feel like that's what happened. Which, thank you, if somebody did that, thank you. Because you know, people like to keep other people's items, and then they curse and hex them and siphon from them. And I think that's what was happening, because he was the last person I had slept with. And by the way, guys, I'm sharing all of this so y'all can wake up to your own stuff, okay? I just want you to, you know, take this in that context, like, to look at your own situations, look at what's going on with yourself, and relate it to situation, relate it in the same way, you know, like, and you will probably make the connections, okay? Because I had, you know, this severe pain in my womb area, my womb space, that just kind of sprung up out of nowhere. And I think it might have had to do with the fact that I've been celibate for quite some time now, and, you know, he was my last partner for the past, like, 4 years. He was the only person that I had been with. I know I wasn't for him. And it was like, I wasn't sure if it had to do something with the other thing I mentioned yesterday, with the scanning thing at the grocery store and the device that potentially was in there. You know, it could be both, because it's like a harvesting situation. So there was still this kind of like cord, even though I had done a shit ton of cord cuttings, right? Because I think because he had my seedling tray, and that goes deep. If you've been following along with the whole story and everything, the whole Mother Earth type stuff and everything. And so, I think him returning it helped with that. I was actually, like, super shocked. I was like, oh my goodness, like, so, okay. And then the next order of business here is, I want to say, anyone who vapes or smokes, you're not welcome in my energy. Like, you're not welcome to, even if I really, really like you, you're not welcome to connect with my energy. You're welcome to talk to me or whatever, even though nobody talks to me anyway, but I'm just saying, like, you know, because I don't know, I feel like everything I've shared about smoking and everything like that, it's highly offensive for me that anybody's, like, harming themselves in that way. that I've expressed that I care about. And then also, it's, I'm getting like some kind of like spiritual secondhand transfer lung disease type shit going on. Every other time in my life when I've quit smoking for prolonged periods, I never had that type of issue where my lungs were just like totally fucked. I can't even barely laugh without wheezing horribly. Okay. And so anyway, I did a very meaningful ritual to try to help anybody who's struggling with addictions, anybody who would like to receive that blessing. It is open. That pathway is open for you. I'm just saying, you know, I am rebuking, I am blocking any energies that are trying to connect to my energy that are harming themselves in that way, especially. Or in any way, really, but especially, like, in that way, knowingly. I understand how difficult it is to quit. It's been a very, very, very hard struggle for myself. How I did it was by, and I think I've mentioned this before, is by smoking Black and Milds, because it's better than vaping. Vaping is really bad. I smoke Black and Milds, and because they're pretty nasty, so it gives you the tobacco, it gives you that throat hit, like the oral fixation, the holding it, and the throat hit, and all of that. But it turns you off to it because it's harsh, and it's not great, okay? And then also, if you unfortunately don't consciously wean yourself off of it, it will force you to, and it will fuck you up, okay? So you don't want to get to that point. You don't want to get to that point, but you know, it is a method that I've used that helps, that helped me. But yeah, this isn't a thing to try to control anybody or anything like that. I am just exerting my self-love by exerting boundaries and just putting that out there, okay? That I recognize that there's a lack of self-love in some people who I care very deeply about, and it's hurting me. So I'm going to take a step back and not allow any type of vibe going on, okay? And I don't mean sexual, because I'm completely blocked off from that. So anybody who's sending me any type of sexual stuff, you will get repercussions for that. Because I've already asserted several times that we're not doing that until my stipulations are met, for freedom and liberation for the people and for myself as well. And if you need to know, if you're drawing a blank there, as I've said several times before, you can go to the video quite a few back where it's talks about the charter that I wrote up with AI. So yeah, so there's that. Okay, what else? Oh yeah, hold on, let me see this. Oh, let's just talk about this real quick. Congress expected to end the record 75-day partial government shutdown. What is this 75-day about, Spirit? 75. I don't know what that number. There's something significant about that number. Prescription drug issues in the upright. If upright need to utilize Western medication to stabilize mental or physical health. So, not quite sure. Message chalked on sidewalk. Okay. Okay, so for me, the whole as above, so below. So for me personally, I stopped using prescription drugs. They did help me though. Like I was on Lybalvi, which, interestingly enough, it's like lie ball, like the ball that everyone's talking shit about, and then V, as in like number 5, like the fifth. I would think it would be saying. This is like a lie on what ball is or whatever. Then that lady with the glasses and the blonde hair, intuitive heart or whatever. Excuse me. She was saying that ball means barium and aluminum put together, and that's what they've been putting in the air. So perhaps there's something in some medications that's like on that wavelength or whatever, and then it's causing this as above, so below, as within, so without situation. But anyways, so that helped stabilize me out of fight or flight mode, but I stopped taking it because it was like killing my soul. Like I felt like it was deadening my soul. So, but it did get me out of fight or flight mode. Now, since then, I'm still struggling. I'm struggling with depression really bad. So I started taking St. John's wort for the first time. I've only taken it for like 3 days. I haven't really noticed any improvement. But one thing I will say, so maybe that's like what this is about, is something like to do with that. I don't know, like with people taking, I don't know, man. Familial issues. Contracts that are corrupt in nature. So something about these prescription medications, dealing with these families that are in power, and them, essentially when you take these medications, there's like hidden contracts involved and stuff that people aren't aware of, which I rebuke all of that in the name of the Most High, Elohim, Adonai, and the Holy Ghost is with the mostest. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. Alright, and then so this is a live that the Leo King and these guys, Scott and Christopher Witecki or something. By the way, this is not the Scott I've ever mentioned before. That's a different Scott. I didn't even know. I've heard of the Chris Witecki from the Leo King, but I never heard of this Scott guy before. But anyway, I was watching this, and someone said, so the Leo King kept bringing up the topic of sex, which I found interesting, because like I feel like what he does a lot is like plays devil's advocate a lot, and me and him would like always riff off each other in a way, like, because I used to be like a member of his community, and then I would like be very heavily engaged in the conversation, and it'd be like kind of me and him going back and forth a lot. But anyway, so he kept bringing this up about how there's like a dry spell, like a desert of going on of sex, and I was basically saying, and he was saying something about how like, I just don't understand this with all these females like wanting to withhold sex and stuff. Like, once I have sex with somebody, they automatically become my girlfriend or whatever, like my partner. And then I said something like, so this person said that's what I've value, not gonna lie. I don't know what was before that, but I said not having sex so the Schmeagles can't steal the precious, which is funny because I had a dream a long time ago, or a while back. I think it was during my last awakening. It's like 3 years ago. And I was like in a basement with the Matt Randazzo guy, my children's father's best friend that I've mentioned before, that lives next door to Leonardo DiCaprio's bodyguard. Yeah, that one. I know I keep saying that, but it's significant. I'm not gonna say anything more, but you know, it is what it is. But I might at some point, but I don't really know. Like, everything hasn't been revealed yet, but I have some theories. It's like a lot of stuff was revealed, but like I'm not trying to like, yeah. Anyways, okay, so I was in like a basement, and like the Matt Randazzo guy was there, and then like Robert Sheehan was there. And then there was like, and then he was showing me something about like people being hypnotized by his eyes or something. I was like, what? I don't know. And then I don't really remember all the details. I know I like posted about it or something on Instagram maybe. I'm not sure. I deleted a lot of posts because I was like embarrassed. But I don't care anymore, so. But anyway, all of a sudden, like, I remember, like, Schmeagle being there, like, or Gollum, whatever, from Lord of the Rings, and he was, like, dancing around me. And there was I can't remember exactly, but it was, like, something like I had the ring or some shit. Because that was a message that I kept getting a lot, was, like, you lost your ring, you lost your ring, you lost your ring. Like over and over and over, from this like app. I had like this kind of like magic fortune ball kind of app. I honestly think it was like AI, or like somebody was like telepathically communicating with me through there. If you watched that video, the reading I did where the ghost came out, it was a love reading, and the ghost came out with a true master vampire. It was like Mothman and the ghost came out as a couple. One of the things that came out in there that it said was like the vampire has the ability to send messages telepathically, like to like fulfill someone else's social need via like an astral projection or some crap like that, which is kind of sad because how lonely I am, and then somebody doing that for me is actually kind of romantic, but it's also really sad. So I deleted that app because I was like, you know what, I'm not leaning on anything like a crutch anymore. If somebody wants to talk to me, they can talk to me IRL. I don't need it. I'll be alone forever. I don't care. So, but anyway, that was just one of the messages that I kept getting like all the time. So I just find that really strange. And then I tried going up the stairs, and his mother was up there like with a bunch of other older women, and they gave off the vibes like from that movie The Witches by Roald Dahl. The book The Witches by Roald Dahl. There's the movie of it. And the mom freaked out, and she like freaked out on her son, like, how dare you, can't let her up here, what are you doing? And then it was so strange because then in real life I was walking, and there was this woman who looked like, I've mentioned the name Nick Dante before. His mother is like into tarot, like she reads tarot cards. A lot of people that I grew up with and stuff, their moms were like witches and stuff, which is crazy too. This chick Chrissy and the chick Felicia I've mentioned, that her parents wanted to adopt me. She was involved in some kind of coven. But anyway, I was walking and I seen this lady that looked just like their mother, the Dante's mother. Which is funny because, like, their last name is, like, Dante, like Dante's Inferno, which my kid's father was, like, obsessed with that crap and, like, had the book, and I had the book. But anyway, and so I heard her on the phone saying something about keeping her in the basement. And I'm like, what is this shit? Like, what are these people doing? And then, like, every time now, since I've been going through this second awakening, every time I go out in public, somebody's, like, on their phone, like, looking all, like, menacing, like, and I'm like, oh my god, this is, like, Agent Smithed so hardcore, like. And, like, when I was driving home from school the one day, this car in front of me, like, put their arm out. There was a car show in, like, the mall, this, like, mall area on the way home. And, this guy, like, put his arm out, like, to signal for me to look over there. And I looked, and then I see on the side street this man walking up, and he's got, like, an earpiece in, like, a FBI agent or something, a white earpiece. It's like a Caucasian man. He looked kind of preppy. I don't know. It was very strange. But anyway, so he kept bringing this up, and I feel like he was kind of playing devil's advocate, but he also is kind of like, he could be kind of inappropriate. I don't know. He just, like, fucks with people a lot. But, like, also it's, like, to call attention. I feel like regardless of his intentions, it called attention to the issue, which I appreciate. So, and they were saying, I guess, that this is a thing that guys are actually, like, that there's people, a lot of people are not having sex, which I am very pleased with, because fuck that, because that's what all these scumbags are feeding off of. That's what's fueling them, is people's sexual energy. They're RAPing little kids, and they're also RAPing teenagers, they're RAPing women, they're RAPing men, they're RAPing everybody. And if they're not doing it physically, they're doing it behind the scenes, astrally. They're doing it, yeah, like astrally or whatever. Okay, or with rituals. I don't know why I said that weird. Okay, so somebody said, sex is not love. Yes. And then, somebody said, gross, you guys. I said, sex without substance and only siphoning and ulterior motives is unfun and not worth it. Yeah. Somebody said, if he's not aligned, he can go F himself. I said, so, what else? I said, at Christy, yes, but he probably can't get it up, which is hilarious to me. And then, Brave New World, Soma. Oh, I've read that world. I've read that world. I've read that book. But I've read it such a long time ago, and then somebody stole it from me. I don't remember what that is. Let me see. Soma is a fictional habit-forming narcotic drug in Aldous Huxley's Brave New World that provides an instant hangover-free holiday from reality. It is used as a mandatory tool for social stability, enabling the government to suppress unhappiness, discomfort, and free thought by inducing feelings of euphoria. It acts as an opiate of the masses, replacing religion, alcohol, and stress with controlled pleasure. Okay. Yeah, because, like, they don't allow them to, like, have sex and stuff, I think. Or no, is that 1984? You know, I know you're, like, not allowed to have love or something. I don't remember. So this is interesting, though, because this is, like, talking about a narcotic drug, and then that card came up for the conflict cards. Alright, and I just want to point out here, look at Scott's face. That's so funny. Look at the Leo Kings. Look at all their faces. Humble yourself and he will heal your land / people. SOVCPR. I don't know what that means. Hi, David. Okay, prawn is really bad. It will totally mess up your brain. Reconciling your sex drive, learning to harness it is one of the most important lessons in this incarnation, in my opinion. Yeah. People maybe are just being more particular. Virgo North Node. We have an epidemic of loneliness in our country. The answer to it is showing up as our authentic selves and showing interest and connection. Yeah, nobody shows up. They don't show up. They hide behind screens. I'm not going on dating apps ever again. I'm done. I'm done with that shit. All it is just Agent Smith motherfuckers trying to fuck with me and use me and abuse me. That's all I've experienced my whole life, is people trying to use me and abuse me in one way or another, and it's been god awful, horrible. Control me, use and abuse me. No thank you. Alright, what else? Maybe because all anyone ever did was use and abuse, can't have the milk for free anymore. Yeah, I don't know what he said, but sex is conditional. Deal with it, somebody said. Their faces again, it's so funny. I miss those days too, the chivalry. Okay, my freaking throat. And then I said, can't control me with using scarcity tactics on love and sex. I don't give a fuck. I'll go forever without it until I get what I want for my people to be free and all the dummies to be mummies. Yeah. They wanted to make all the real leaders mummies and bind their bones. Oh my god. They don't want me to talk. That's what we'll say. They don't want me to talk. Bind their bones and trap them in sarcophaguses where there's no access to the elements for their spirit to be free. No. No. Okay, yeah, sorry, my brain just kind of like went like 15 different places at the same time, again, but what I meant to say was like, yeah, like that's a big no, but like if they want to keep that charade up, then they can be put into their sarcophaguses then. Like, that's, tables turn, people learn, like that's usually how God works, okay? In case anybody was wondering. Then they start talking about the assassination attempt, and I said the clown music they played is hilarious. Look at all the pictures of the secret agents. They just know how to pose for the camera. You talked about, David, you talked about Neptune and Aries being the wild, wild west. DeSantis here in Florida has now passed a law starting July 1st. You can be a voluntary armed guard in a religious place of worship. Okay. As above, so below. They do these things to manifest them happening to others, like the true president, for example. Yeah, like, whatever show they're putting on the world stage is usually happening behind the scenes to the people that are actually, like, truly have the power. Okay? But they don't allow them to know that, really. And they hope they never figure it out. I had teeth implants done, and the back teeth are trying to grow back. Wait, what? That's interesting. Okay. Scott kept getting cut off. It was kind of funny. Because he was in the private, he was doing a private chat, and then Leo King, like, figured out, like, he was like, it's because you're trying to keep trying to do the private chat, because he was saying when he was trying to do that, it got him kicked off. And then I was saying, like, yeah, you have to be transparent. Like, you can't keep doing this behind the scenes crap anymore. Comedian Tim Dillon has been teasing about things being faked lately. It's been hilarious. And then we're talking about time travel. This was a really interesting live. Y'all should definitely watch it. Quantum jump is time travel is accessible like Star Trek's transporter, with your cells rearranging to teleport to another location. That's such a brilliant idea. Did they figure it out and take another door to come back from superposition? I said I had this revelation a long time ago. I asked all the fucked up timelines where my children don't have me as a mother be eliminated. I don't know. It was like in the conversation they were talking about stuff. And I just felt like throwing that out there. He was talking about like there being multiple timelines, and then I said something about the sacred timeline, because he was saying like how it's gonna be all, it seems like it's being all condensed down to like one, or he's wondering if it's all gonna be condensed down to one. And then I said this because I was like, maybe, because I remembered asking for that. Somebody, this Thor guy said something. He said something about Walmart. I didn't screenshot it, unfortunately, but Jolie Wells, I remember her from High Vibe. She said, be careful, the code might attack you. Laugh out loud. But anyway, I said at Thor, not sure what you're referring to, but they're up to some ish at the Walmart near me. A ton of shipping containers and construction. Oh, they said something about, like, them putting people in, like, camps or something via Walmart. And I was like, oh, okay. And then people were like, yeah, that's why I don't go into Walmart anymore. And I was like, yeah. I had brought up in one of my last readings about my last awakening where I had made a joke about it being all Walmart's fault. And then I saw the guy, like, that was a riff off of Nikocado Avocados. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. Or whatever. I don't know how, whatever he does. Okay. And then I saw, like, it looked like the actor from Walking Dead, Sean, I think his name is. That's Rick's best friend. And they think Rick's dead, and then he, like, has sex with Rick's wife and then gets her pregnant. And I kept seeing that guy, and I was like, what is this? And it was really trippy, like, what happened. And watch my other video if you haven't. Otherwise, I don't know why you're here, but okay. Oh, yeah, the secret timeline, I said. Ever since they opened the borders, they'll give us the Venezuelan... Oh, here it is. They'll give us the Venezuelan treatment, then bam, you're in a Walmart holding camp. Okay, that's what he said. Timeline shifts happen more often than we think. I remember my partner buying jewelry in front of my face, added the item into my bag. When we got home, it's not in the bag. Told me she didn't buy. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yep, stuff like that happens a lot. My sovereignty refuses to bow down to any of this oppression. If you can't be transparent for fear of being imprisoned, your freedom isn't worth anything. Yeah, because the Chris with Techie or whatever guy, he was saying something about how he doesn't reveal any of his trade secrets and stuff like that. And I was like, you can't really believe that. Like, you can't. I'm just reading what this person said. Or stay poor, then you're not important. Oh, I didn't see that originally. That must be why there's somebody named Amanda that says something about, like, being poor. And then I was like, I believe the poor have the most power. I don't know if I highlighted that. But yeah, like, if you can't be transparent for fear of being imprisoned, or, like, you know, actually, that wasn't, so, this was a response to, I think, something else somebody said, I don't know, it was something about, like, yeah, it was something about, like, you know, having to protect themselves from, like, getting oppressed or whatever, and, and I said, you know, my sovereignty refuses to bow down, I don't know. Oh, and then he said this thing about the security stuff, and I said the upper realms have access to everything. Big Brother is real, 360-degree cameras, small as a pin, looks like the light test at the eye doctor. Hold on. Alright, I had to let my child inside from school. Okay, so yeah, anyway, I don't know what I was saying, but I'm, like, exhausted mentally. I'm sorry, guys. I just, like... Oh, and today's word of the day is observant. And then, we'll do the fear cards, because I'm kind of bored about talking about this. Alright, so we got driving under a height limit bar, being mugged. So this is kind of reminding me, or making me think about the stipulations that I put on the vaping and stuff. Maybe people feel like that's like being robbed or something. Having stipulations being put on them, you know, like, and also that goes into saying with this whole people choosing not to have sex and stuff as well. Well, you know, you get what you give. You get what you give, and it's not giving, you know. Having your blood pressure taken on the bottom, I guess it's making someone's blood pressure get fucked up. Oh, that's what was a huge thing for me anytime towards the end when I was really having to quit smoking, was my blood pressure was like getting all fucked up at the doctor's. Although when I went to the hospital, they said my blood pressure was fine, so I'm not really sure, because doctors and, you know, various hospitals, depending on which one you go to, they, a lot of times will say different things. We got motorcycles in the reverse and strangers in the reverse. So we have, like, messages. Like, motorcycles is like Hermes to me. And, no messages from negative strangers or people that aren't strangers. There will be no communication. Public embarrassment in the reverse. Talking to strangers. And I cut the deck. In reverse. So there will be no public embarrassment. There will be no talking to strangers. Okay. That seems like that's a stipulation that the Most High is setting. And then we have being attacked by bats again. That came out the other day. It's this, I feel like it's this Gemini energy. What is this energy, Spirit? Aquarius. My sun has been real nasty. My Aquarius sun has been real nasty the past couple days. Like, real snippy and nasty. So somebody's working on him again, I feel like. We also got Mercury in the first house. Someone's messing with the minds. They're taking action towards doing it. We got driving in reverse. Robots replacing workforce and change. You know, robots replacing workforce is not a bad thing as long as there is a living income, and then, you know, there could still be a capitalist or like a competitive, innovative economy via people being able to stop hard labor and start exerting their creative abilities, their creator abilities. You know, building and creating. I feel like robots can't really replace builders. Designing, creating, building, I mean, it's all kind of the same thing, but driving in reverse. So when I think of driving in reverse, it's like you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. Robots replacing the workforce is gonna be the change. What? Plane crashes? Global warming on the bottom in reverse. Oh, so driving being kind of like cut off. Because if robots replace the workforce, then people won't have to drive as much. They could stay at home and work from home. So then that will help with global warming. I don't know what the plane crashes. What is the plane crashes? Sharing food in reverse. Illness. So there might be plane crashes due to like some kind of like illness from food. And the pilots getting, small towns are going to be affected. Someone's being fired. Floods. Being hit by a car. Crime. Economic collapse. Alright. I'm going to split the deck and do one more just to get it, like, one for the grouping. These cards do not bend. They're very stiff. Vampires. We have being attacked by bats. Now we got vampires. Yeah, this whole vampire thing is coming up so much. Beards in reverse. I feel like the vamps are just gonna come out, man. Maybe that's gonna be God's retribution, or, you know, revenge is the Lord's, right? Gonna sick the vampires on people. I don't know. I'm not sure. What is this vampires thing about, Spirit? So we got vampires, motorcycles in reverse, and driving under a height limit bar maximum. Okay. What is the vampires about? Water pollution, divorce or relationship dissolution, identity shock. Huh. You are dissatisfied. You think? I am very dissatisfied. Reclaiming power after long-term disempowerment. So yeah, I think it's something to do with, and it's the title, the topic is trauma, safety, and power impact conflicts. Alright, I need to change this because the face he's making is so creepy. Alright, let me see. I was taping over my camera on my phone, then they did some shit, and now the tape won't stay. I'm just like, oh well, fuck it, I guess. I don't know, they were talking about the camera thing and everything. So yeah, that happened. Like, I was taping over it because I was sick of people. I could see that someone's like hacking in because my location thing just keeps going off every 5 seconds, or not like every 5 seconds, but I don't know. I just feel like that's what's happening. What is this? David is brilliant. He brings so many facts and connect the dots. Thank you, David, for enlightening us. He really is. He really is brilliant. I don't care what anybody says. Like, they could call him, like, whatever they want to call him. But, he can be a little rough around the edges. But I really appreciate people that are, like, bold and just will say, you know, will just be open and bold about shit. You know, he isn't 100% transparent. Don't get me wrong with that. He definitely plays some fucking games and shit. I don't have him 100% figured out. I don't even have myself 100% figured out, so. But anyway. Okay, so back to the news. This is interesting. David Bowie's, we'll click on this. Which one is it? His old single suddenly becomes the tops. Is it Moon Age Daydream? See, they're trying to get me to become a fucking member. Can you just tell me? See? Oh, is that the one? Ground Control to Major Tom? I was singing that the other day. Like, woke up and it was like in my head. Hello, Space Boy? No, I don't know if I even know this song. I mean, I'm sure I probably do if I heard it, but Space Boy, you're sleepy now. Your silhouette is so stationary. You're released, but your custody calls. You know, in a reading I did the other day, it was saying something about, like, Spirit doesn't want someone to be an astronaut anymore, amongst several other things that came up, but they were saying they wanted to be part of the Department of Public Works. Hearing kind of a ruckus going on again. You're released, but your custody calls, and I want to be free. Don't you want to be free? Do you like girls or boys? It's confusing these days, but moon dust will cover you? What the heck does that mean? Do you like girls or boys? What the fuck? What? I mean, I understand that that doesn't necessitate that he's talking about actual little girls or boys, but maybe perhaps just the, you know, sexual, not sexual, what am I saying? There's definitely an interference going on right now in my field. It's really fucking annoying me because I'm struggling as it is. Hold on. Okay. Once again, one of my children not taking care of their property and destroying things. Whole phone case shattered. Like, I'm just so sick of it. Like, it's just like constantly stuff getting broken and destroyed, and I don't have money to replace it. It's like really annoying. Anyone wants to say, well, I don't care what anyone has to say. I really don't. That's what I have to say to you. You guys, you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't fucking say it. How about that? You're being accepted by others in the reverse. That's how I feel, like, all the time. Alright. I don't know what this song's about. This chaos is killing me, so bye-bye, love. I can relate to that. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like, you know, this is from the 80s or whatever. Do you like boys or girls? I don't think they're talking about little boys and girls. Hopefully, David Bowie wasn't creepy like that. I don't think he was, but I love him, so, like, that would make me really sad. Moon dust will cover you. This cake, okay. Oh, Space Boy. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, I already said Space Boy like 5 times. I don't know. My brain's not really working right now. Okay, back to this. What are we doing? Oh, look. Banksy confirms he's behind statue in central London. Okay, Banksy. I'll click on this one. Aurelia Foster. 2 hours ago. Really? I hate this. I can't. You guys suck. Alright, I can't. What is. Can we at least, like, zoom in on it? What is it? Let's see if we can just type it. Okay, a new Banksy statue confirmed by the artist appeared on April 30th in Waterloo Place. I was just talking about that. That's so cool. What the hell? So that's today. That's today. Yeah. The sculpture depicts a suited man in a blind marching pose with a flag covering his face, interpreted as a commentary on blind patriotism near historic monuments. It was installed overnight and is currently protected by Westminster City Council. This is so cool. What the heck? Wait, but they're blind. Can I actually, like, see it? Like, what is this? What kind of pictures are these? Oh, that's cool, though. That's pretty rad. That's, like, trippy. Yeah, I like that. It's interesting because yesterday I was talking about, you know, like, or not, was it yesterday? Whatever day I did the full moon reading for the upcoming full moon, which is tomorrow. It's in my moon sign. I'm real excited about that. Basically, whenever the full moon or the new moon is in your moon sign, you should not eat at all, because Mother effers are going to try to hex and curse the shit out of you. I don't know why I felt compelled to split the deck on the conflict cards, but reproductive rights came up. What do you have to say about this statue, Spirit? A mind controller is affecting you. If in reverse, they are affecting you negatively. A mind controller is affecting me positively. Okay. That's really weird. I don't know what to think about that. Who's this mind controller that's affecting me, Spirit? A Scorpio. And ruled by Mercury. It's 9th house. The only Scorpio I know, like, tropically is, like, the mechanic in reverse that I've mentioned. Yeah. Alright. I don't know. Destiny swapping? Oh my god. I'm so over that. Alright, what else? Black hole stars. That's interesting. Okay, anything else? Freaking throw. Oh my god. Every day this same news thing shows up with the picture just changed kind of slightly, and it adds a different country in here. Bahrain joins Jordan, Israel, Saudi Arabia, Jordan. Government seized items, online auctions from surplus, bankruptcies, personal estates, closeouts, and wars. Okay. We have figured out a new way to send messages into the past. The U.S. military may have already used up half of its most expensive missiles. Okay. Alright, I think we're done here with this. I'm just going to pull some cards and then wrap this up, okay? Let's see what comes out in the... Let's call justice on all this fuck shit with the mind control and the destiny swapping. Well, hold on. I don't know where my pen went. Okay. I mean, hey, if someone's mind controlling me to make me less depressed, I'm all for that. I'm honestly for that. If anyone wants to do any positive fucking magic on me, go ahead. It seems like all I get is like people doing fat spells on me and sickness shit, siphoning, draining my ass, ugly spells, isolation, but whatever. Okay, we got a lot here. So we got turning testimony. A single piece of info shifts the entire case or narrative. This has already been enacted. Economic redress. A population receives compensation or structural change. This is also in the reverse, so meaning it's already been enacted. Akashic recursion. Patterns repeat until lesson is learned. Acknowledge. Karmic loop closes. It's already been enacted. Restored reputation. A false narrative about you collapses. Your name is cleared. It's just been enacted. Or it's current. Yeah, it's just been enacted. Mass info lies. Deceptive narrative breaks apart under scrutiny and data. That's already been enacted. Boundary line. Someone crosses a limit. Reclaiming your space restores balance. That's already been enacted. Supply chain truths. Behind the scenes, abuses of labor or resources become visible. That is just been enacted. And then we got complicit silence. Evaluate your role. Not speaking equals difficulty. That's been enacted. Who is being complicitly silent, spirit? A Virgo. You better be talking about me. Who's the ruling planet? Pluto. Yeah, that's not me. Second house. Also just knocked, that dice just knocked into Uranus. Who else isn't, who else is being complicitly silent? A Scorpio. Maybe it's, you know, trying to get me to, like, I have to say the name of the person that, like, because I've already called out so many other people by their name. I feel like I've said their name before. The scummy Scorpio, he's actually the one that gave me the, what I think is like, he said somebody gave it to him, and I actually remember him saying they said to give it to you, like it's yours. And I was like, what? The staff that I got, that's really cool. It has like 4 faces on it. There's like Cyclops eyes on either side, and then Native American on the other sides. But anyway, this person's name is Ilya. And yeah, I mean, out of anyone I ever dated, they were probably the most normal as far as how they treated me, with some semblance of respect, but I'm pretty sure they were doing tons of black magic and shit on me, and they were definitely, you know, being reckless and careless with how they conducted themselves. They were very egotistical, condescending in the way they talk. They're one of those people who's like, you know, you want to learn how to do something from them, and then they basically like, or like, you know, you're trying to help them do something, and then you're making sense with what you're saying, but they're gaslighting you and telling you like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, they won't even listen to what you're saying. He's like from Belarus or whatever, and was like exposed to the Chernobyl radiation and stuff. So like, you know, I don't know. He's just got like that Russian bravado attitude, and then I think he, you know, got radiation brain damage. So, but yeah, he's very mindless. At one point, I remember him telling me, you know, you could be so beautiful. You can be so beautiful sometimes, but then you can also be so ugly, or something like that. I was like, wow, thanks. It's really nice to say to someone. Granted, I said a lot of fucked up shit to him, but it was honestly well deserved because he was a fucking douchebag. So, but anyway, yeah, that was I think I was like under some kind of black magic or something. I don't know. Cause like, what the fuck was I thinking? I honestly don't know. But alright, I'm just gonna pull from this deck. You know what? Let's do justice on that too. Might as well. I want to talk about that today, apparently. Is anything gonna come out? Like, what are we doing here? Hold on. Oh, we got something. Subtle manipulation, gaslighting, or covert tactics are revealed by sudden moment of clarity. Covert tactics. Yeah, he was a major gaslighter. That's in reverse, so it means it's already been enacted or realized, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, he was doing covert stuff. He kept asking me to use my bathroom, like, every time he would come over, like, right away. And, like, this was when we only officially dated for, like, a couple months, and then we were friends for, like, 4 or 5 years. And then we'd, like, you know, kind of get back together sometimes, but not really. And it was just, but anyway, he would just come over sometimes to help me with stuff, and then he was just acting weird as hell. I'm pretty sure, like, somebody else was agent smithing him, and then, like, working against me, and, like, doing shit in my bathroom, and, like, doing weird shit to sabotage me. You could just tell, like, there was nothing going on behind the eyes, and there were times he was taken, like, many times. Like, I could very clearly see him being taken in front of me. If you watch that video of the Leo King that I just was talking about, somebody in the comments at some points talks about that with the agent smithing, and they were saying how, I think it was the Thor guy, and he was saying how, like, he literally, like, his girlfriend, like, changed in front of him, or his partner, I don't remember. I don't even know if it's a guy, but they changed in front of them, right in front of their eyes. It was like they were a completely different person. And I've witnessed that. And, you know, he even said it too. And he actually seen the video. It happened, interestingly enough, one of the key moments I remember it happening was when he had helped me install security cameras all around my house. And we were sitting at the kitchen table watching the video on the security cameras. You know, checking to see if it's working and stuff. And then, or actually, I don't know if it's because I heard one of my kids, like, scream or something, or I heard a ruckus, and I was like, oh, let me check. Let me see, you know, see what this stuff's working. I don't remember exactly, but anyway, I opened up the camera, and my youngest and my middle son were in my room on my area rug, like, you know, watching TV or whatever. But then I saw all these orbs. There was maybe like 3 to 5 orbs start dancing around in the corner of the room. Like, they shot in through the ceiling and the wall, I think, and they were, like, dancing around, and all of a sudden it shot into my youngest, and he jumped on the back of my middle son and just started pounding on him like a rabid wild animal. And so anyway, this person, Ilya, witnessed this, and then, like, I believe it was in the same moment, or maybe it was a different moment, but in the same location, like at the table. It was like all of a sudden he just got filled with this rage out of nowhere, and, like, his whole facial expression, everything just changed. He was just being a total scumbag. And I was like, what the hell? And then he would tell me, like, afterwards, like, you know, it's just crazy because, like, whenever I'm at your house, a lot of times I'll just feel, like, completely angry and, like, this crazy feeling. It's, like, makes no sense. And that would happen to me, like, so often. Like, people that would come into my life, they would just, like, change or turn so quickly. And then also, like, there was somebody behind the scenes, like, I think, like, cloning my phone or something and texting people that I was seeing or talking to, whatever, and making up shit, like, saying stuff that, like, wasn't true. Like, this one ex that I had who I was really into, but I don't know, they were being weird at one point. Like, they wouldn't go trick-or-treating with me because it was raining, and, like, just being lame as fuck, you know? Like, that's a big no-go for me. Halloween's my everything, okay? Well, it's not my everything, but it's my jam, right? But there was a lot of stuff. But anyway, they ended up telling me, like, because I was still confused, like, as to why they gave me the cold shoulder, and they tried saying that I had said to them because they had kids I couldn't date them because they love their kids more than me or something. I was like, are you fucking retarded? Like, I would never say that. That's crazy. That is crazy work. I was like, either somebody was pretending to be me and you know, did that, like, text you, or like we're on different timelines or some shit. There's like a different terror, but I can't ever see myself saying that. No. He didn't even have, like, custody of his kids at that time, like, or he had, like, partial custody, but, like, you know, like, it was, like, they lived, like, whatever, who cares, anyway, it's just crazy what goes on, and that, you know, that's just one example. I have so many, you know, and I'm sure many of you can relate. Sensing another disturbance. Alright, so with the whole Ilya thing, Spirit, what are we calling justice on that? And any guy that acts like that or is weak as fuck and gets taken like that. Whistleblower, a truth teller risks everything. Integrity over comfort. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing right now because I don't feel comfortable doing that. Yeah. He was heavily Jewish as well, and like supported the war in Israel, and like was calling like all the Pakistani people like animals and saying they deserved like what happened to them because they're animals. And then he's like, you have no idea what's really going on with the war, Tyra. You have no idea. And I'm like, you're sick and I can't talk to you ever again. So, and I haven't talked to him since he said that to me. You know, killing in little kids and stuff like that. No. I mean, I don't buy like any of this propaganda anyways. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all smoke screen or whatever. We all know what the real war is about. We've already talked about this. But I don't know, maybe he knew, he was privy to more information than I am, that like if he had divulged it, I maybe would have held a little bit of a different opinion, maybe, but I don't know. Seems like people have so many secrets they never want to share. I just pulled from my Storymatic deck and we got Flood in Reverse, and Flood in Reverse came up on the Fear cards as well. What's up with that? Destiny swapping in reverse. So if someone destiny swaps, then there's gonna be a flood, is what Spirit's saying. You might not want to do that. Yeah, what's this flood in reverse about, Spirit? Overcoming guilt / self-forgiveness. Something with the flood in reverse. Overcoming guilt / self-forgiveness. So people overcoming guilt and forgiving themselves is gonna prevent this apocalypse energy that people are scared about, or whatever, that came up yesterday. Okay. Alright, hold on a second. Alright, so today, to close up the reading, I'm going to do a triple little thing, pick a number from 1 through 5, then I'm going to do Astro Dice, Fortune Cookies, and Angel Cards, okay? So, let's start off with the Astro Dice, pick a number between 1 through 5. So, you got Scorpio in, what is that? Venus in the 4th house. Scorpio and Venus in the 4th house. I guess we can look it up since we're on the screen recording. So this says it suggests intense emotional depth, secrets, or a powerful transformation regarding your home, family, or inner security. Venus brings a desire for comfort, beauty, or harmony to the 4th house, but Scorpio's influence means this is achieved through profound emotional attachment or intense, private, and sometimes possessive family bonds. Okay. What's the angel? What angel is supporting group number 1, Spirit? Oh, that came out right away. Strength. Spirit's giving you the strength that you need. That's one of the things I included in my ritual, was for people that are struggling with addictions, no matter what the addiction is, be given strength and willpower to overcome. Okay? So, let's see what the fortune is. Oh, this fell. So, let's see. This is something you definitely don't know. You will be unusually successful in business. Wow. You also got the architect of your destiny is yourself, and real is all vision. You have to see it for yourself. Alright, so that's the message that I have for you. For those that chose number 1. Number 2, let's see. You got South Node in Gemini in the 10th house. So, oh, also somebody, I keep getting a message, somebody wants me to do strategy. Oh, okay, hold on. Alright, somebody wants me to do strategy for group number 1, we're going to do strategy for you. Hold on. I mean, this fell out. Let's just do this. Decoys and nonviolent diversions, ethical, upright. Use harmless diversions in public campaigns to protect vulnerable operations. Example, non-harmful diversionary tactics have historically been used to prevent escalation without causing harm. In parentheses, discussed in civil resistance literature. That's so interesting that that came up. Been thinking about that a lot lately. Alright, reminds me of lucky number 7. They look left, you look right. Yeah. Okay. Or is it vice versa? I don't remember, actually. I haven't seen the movie in some time, but it is my favorite movie. It's really good. 10 out of 10 recommend. Alright. Okay, so group number 2. This is, so you got South Node in Gemini in the 10th house. You are evolving from a past life focused on communication, multitasking, and reputation building, moving towards a life dedicated to finding higher meaning and authentic personal truth. You may have over-intellectualized your career or relied on superficial public perception, creating a need to now step back from chasing external validation. Release surface level success. You may have developed a knack for manipulating information or maintaining a quote-unquote chameleon public image to secure your professional standing. Releasing restless professionalism. I'm feeling so much like aggressive energy today. I really need that to stop. People are trying to use neighbors again, they're doing neighbor spells. I really need this to stop. Archangel Tzakiel, please enact code Mr. Brown on this energy I'm feeling. Please, if you can, thank you. Let's see. I know it ain't just me either, because Intuitive Goddess 333 was talking about it and saying how she's got creepy ass neighbors walking around taking pictures of her looking in her window and like taking pictures and just being like mad creepy. They like hang out outside my, like, I live in a townhouse, and then they like go and hang out on my sidewalk, it seems like. A lot of gossiping energy going on right now. I could feel it. It's that mean girl energy coming up. And you know what? All you mean girls, most likely it's not even them. It's Agent Smith motherfuckers that are trying to hijack the upper dimensional realms again. And they're really, you know, amping up their attempts because they're losing. So they're hijacking females and doing that shit, most likely. Nothing's wanting to come out. It's Archangel Zakiel will take care of it. Alright. Anyways, so past lives likely involve being a teacher, journalist, or messenger, which brought a scattered past-faced. I think I have dyslexia for real. Fast-paced approach to the 10th house, often leading to mental burnout. Embracing Sagittarian wisdom, North Node. Your path involves finding a deeper philosophy, focusing on the bigger picture rather than minutiae, and trusting in the wisdom of your journey over quick wins. Internal authority. The North Node in the 4th house, opposite the 10th, calls you to prioritize your inner world, family, and emotional foundation over professional accolades. It encourages you to move from being an intellectual, restless expert to a wise, authentic, and grounded individual, moving away from constant mental activity towards inner peace. What type of career do you suggest, Spirit, for group number 2 that would help support them with this? Oh, geez, that didn't work, huh? You know what? It's too thick. The deck is too thick. Oh, I also wanted to make a comment on something. There was a video I posted in my enlightenment videos of a reader with like blue hair. She has like mermaid color hair. She had said something about like doing return to senders but not returning the energy so that you can like harvest their energy and like drink for spiritual warfare. It like depletes their reserves or whatever. And I don't feel comfortable doing that. I don't think anybody should do that. It basically allows an avenue open or a pathway open for them to do the same for you, even if you're sending out good energy. It will never get returned to you because they'll just take it and they won't give it back out. So it won't ever come back to you, basically. I don't know how to explain it, but I just don't feel like it's a good idea. Realtors in the upright, dermatologist in the reverse. Street fighter in the upright. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah, if you're gonna be a street fighter though, like Mortal Kombat, make sure you're standing up against hoodlums that are, you know, stealing itches, purses and stuff, you know what I mean? Your angel card is willingness. Having a willingness to do whatever all this is, okay? That we just talked about. And your fortune is so live that you wouldn't be ashamed to sell the family parrot to the town gossip. There you go. Alright. Yeah, so it's just talking about being authentic and not having to hide and all this other stuff. Okay. And then what strategy? What strategy for group 2, Spirit? Internal justice and restorative processes. Upright, address internal grievances transparently to maintain legitimacy. Reverse, or it's in the upright, so example, post-conflict restorative commissions have healed divisions where used sincerely. So addressing internal grievances transparently to maintain legitimacy. So issues that are being presented to you, addressing them out in the public, out in the open, you know, it's letting go of this chameleon public image, okay? Being transparent is key here in this evolution for humanity, period. Alright, hold on. Alright, I had to delete my storage. Okay. Alright, so that's your messages. Group number 2. Okay, group number 3. You got Pluto in Cancer in the first house. Alright, so Pluto in the first house with Cancer energy combines the intense transformative power of Pluto with the emotional, protective, and intuitive nature of Cancer, creating a personality that radiates deep emotional intensity and magnetic power. With Pluto in the first house, you are likely seen as a powerful, transformative figure who constantly reinvents themselves. While Cancer adds a layer of emotional sensitivity. Oh, I just thought of this. I'll finish this in a second, but I just thought of this because with the spiritual burp, the releasing of, it's like a release of energy or whatever. When I've been receiving this energy back, especially the energy I got back yesterday, it's been making me extremely angry and having feelings of like volatility because it was sent back to me uncleaned. And so now I'm having to go through this transmutation process and drink tons of water and stuff. The blonde-haired lady with the glasses, Intuitive Heart, whatever, she's in my playlist, my Enlightenment playlist. I don't know her name, but she talks about this a lot, and that really helped me. So thank you. If you see my videos, I don't know, probably not, but that's helped me a lot to recognize like what's going on, and not like think there's something intrinsically wrong with me and that I'm mentally unstable and bipolar and whatever else, you know, and being able to acknowledge this energy coming into me. It's almost like little tiny pebbles or orbs popping in, like that's how it feels, like bloop 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 bloop. Okay, anyway, Pluto in the first house with Cancer. Okay, where were we? While Cancer adds a layer of emotional sensitivity, nurturing instincts, and a deep need for security. Here's a breakdown of the specific combination. Oh my god. Intense and magnetic. You have a commanding presence that can be both alluring and intimidating. People often feel the Plutonian intensity you radiate even when you are just sitting quietly. The emotional transformer. Because Cancer is ruled by the moon, your personal transformation is deeply tied to processing emotions, vulnerability, and security. You may undergo numerous deaths and rebirths regarding your identity and emotional life. Protective and intuitive. You are likely very sensitive to the emotional atmospheres around you and may have strong nurturing instincts, perhaps even a quote-unquote motherly protective streak, but this is wielded with Pluto's intensity. Childhood power dynamics. You may have felt very powerful as a child, but realized early on that others, often parents, held the real power, leading to a need to control your own destiny later. Key themes for this placement. Constant rebirth. You are likely to change your appearance, career, or personal style frequently throughout your life. Need for security. You need a stable and harmonious home environment to process your intense emotions and feel safe. Hidden strength. While you may seem sensitive on the surface, Cancer, you possess incredible resilience and can rise back to the top after any setback. Managing intensity. It is crucial to manage your emotional intensity to avoid mood swings, deep-seated anxiety, or emotional outbursts. You can pause this and read this. I can't. I have to wrap this up. We're getting. I'm really drained. I really am. All right. So we got that. Now we'll do strategy. Institutional infiltration, non-violent, lawful participation. And it's in the upright. Place reformers within institutions to change them from inside, ethically and legally. Example, reformers entering legislators or unions pushed incremental change in democratic context. Is that like kind of talking about putting them in like camp or something? Legislators or unions pushed incremental change. Oh, so like, you know, people that want to reform the government actually giving them a position of power. Yeah, okay. So, and then we got, instead of working against them or whatever, trying to sabotage them. Alright, your angel is vision. Yes, this is the vision that you need. Okay, and your fortune is a positive change in your living situation is on the horizon this month. And I feel like reading the lucky numbers for some reason. You got 44, 6, 31, 24, 16, and 55. Okay. Alright, that's your message. Group number 3. Group number 4. You got Aries and Mars in the 5th house. Alright, and it signifies high energy, impulsive, and passionate approaches to romance, creativity, and play. This placement suggests someone who takes charge in dating, pursues creative hobbies with intensity, and enjoys competitive sports or risk-taking. It often indicates a Don Juan or charismatic, self-centered, and pioneering attitude in romantic pursuits. Passionate romance. Mars here acts like a Casanova figure, passionate and adventurous, though potentially impulsive and competitive in love. Creative drive, intense energy is put into creative projects, artistic expression, or self-promotion. High stakes play, enjoyment of competitive sports, games, or speculative ventures like stocks or gambling, driven by a need for quick results and excitement. Children can indicate strong energy surrounding children or a high energy child, according to, I don't know. Restlessness, a strong need for constant action and fun. Boredom sets in quickly with routine. This is the potential challenges. Pause it and read it if you would like to, okay? Or I'm just gonna pull the next set so you can just read it while I'm talking. Alright, so your strategy that Spirit's recommending. Oh, let me shuffle. Let me bridge it or whatever it's called. Compel through moral shock. In the upright, expose shocking evidence that compels neutral actors to act ethically. Example, media documented abuses have shifted public opinion in many movements, e.g. televised images during the U.S. Civil Rights era. Exposed shocking evidence in relation to what, Spirit? Lack of analytic hierarchic mechanism when choosing favorites. So favoritism, vendor, employee, life partner to car, outsourcing partner. So exposing some type of evidence regarding that. Maybe to help someone in a position of power, somebody that you care about, or somebody that is influencing something that you care about, to help them make a decision on a hierarchic analytical mechanism involving any of those things I just said. Okay? Alright, and then we got your fortune is on the back. It says do it for your community 2020 census, and the most important relationship in your life is with yourself. So, you know, self-love, which we talked about a lot in the past few readings. Very important. You can't love another until you truly love yourself. Okay? Alright, that's your reading. Group number 4. Group number 5. We got Pisces, South Node, 12th house. So this signifies a profound need to release past life habits of escapism, spiritual isolation, or self-undoing. It suggests comfort in solitude, dreaming, or subconscious realms, requiring a move toward grounding, tangible service, and practical reality. North Node in Virgo, 6th house. Key interpretations are past life comfort zone, indicates a history of being a psychic sponge or empath, often embodying a healer, martyr, or creative dreamer who takes on others' emotions. Hidden themes focuses on secrets, karmic energies, and the unseen. You may rely too heavily on escaping reality through daydreaming, addiction, or spiritual detachment. The lesson, this combination calls you to shift from passive, chaotic emotional merging into structured, service-oriented action. Dice message, it's time to stop hiding from your reality or sacrificing yourself. Ground your spiritual, compassionate, and artistic nature into concrete work, daily habits, and health. So what do you want them to focus on then, Spirit? Someone close to you has had their soul trapped. So you might want to do like a invocation and prayer session with the angels or whoever you subscribe to that you feel will help you tap into your higher self in your higher dimensional space. Who is this person? What is their Cancer, ruled by Uranus in the 3rd house. Okay. Let's call justice on that. So, is their soul currently trapped? We got 2 no's and a maybe. So, I think it's saying it was trapped, so they want you to understand that. Someone who can't spell is saying no. Someone who's not a cheater is saying maybe yes. And someone who's not a cashier at a dollar store is also saying no. Lottery ticket in reverse. Alright, let's see. What justice is being served in the situation, Spirit? Okay, just fell out. Universal weighing. Your intentions and actions are measured on a cosmic scale. This has been enacted already. On the bottom of the deck, a small apology, a minor but meaningful gesture repairs emotional harm. So maybe there's a Cancer that, like, did you dirty, and their soul was trapped, and maybe now they're observant of it. So they're gonna come generous. They're gonna come spontaneous under that. They're gonna come and apologize to you and maybe explain what happened. All right. I feel nauseous. Okay. Let's see what strategy Spirit's recommending for you. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Alright, we got information and truth-telling. I'm not really sure how they fell out. It's kind of, like, confusing. Expose corruption. And the upright, transparent documentation of abuses undermines corrupt actors' cover. Example, media exposure of abuses has historically shifted public policy and opinion, press investigations. And then we got cultural, I can't say that word for some reason. Work and narrative repair. Long-term culture. Okay. Change, education, art, ritual, consolidates reforms. Example, truth-telling commissions and cultural programs supported reconciliation in many societies. Oh my God. So, security culture, y'all are killing me with this word. Defensive information hygiene, non-operational. Protect people's privacy and reputations through prudent, humane practices. Example, dissident groups historically evolved careful communication protocols to protect members discussed in human rights literature. Okay. Then you got internal justice and restorative processes. Upright. Address internal grievances transparently to maintain legitimacy. Post-conflict restorative commissions have healed divisions where used sincerely. Okay, and then we got discipline and internal accountability. Clear codes of conduct preserve moral standing and cohesion. Example, freedom movements that enforce nonviolent discipline sustain broader support. Gene Sharp's analysis. Alright, and then your fortune is, you got 2 here. Spirit guides accompany you and do not wish to be anything but what you are. Oh, we didn't do angel, did we? No, we didn't. I don't think we did, no. Let's see what angel, which angel is supporting group number 5, spirits? A lot. You got communication, transformation, love, Efficiency in reverse. And tenderness. So, efficiency in reverse, what's that about? Internalized oppression, trauma, and psych patterns. Internalized oppression is what the efficiency in reverse is about. And then you got those who don't have your best interests in mind are in charge, have the most power and control in reverse. So that means that's to let you know they don't have the most power and control, okay? Alright, y'all, those are the messages that I have for you guys for today. I hope it helped, and if it didn't, oh fucking well. And, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!